Hey kids, how you boys doing? Hey, keep chilling. You know who we are?
All right, welcome back, guys and gals, all my diehards here in the fish hobby. So we're just going to pick up on this video where we left off from the last. So if you did not see the last one, you're new to the channel, go back, get the last one. Got to get tip of speed. 720s on the stand, right there, right above. I-beams, you can see that is the main structural portion of the house. That is holding a monstrous 900-gallon tank. That thing is 10 by 3 by 4. This one is 8 by 3 by 4. Thousands right over there. But on your side of the wall, that is the 12-footer, the 540-gallon tank. So we're juggling 3 big tanks that need to be hooked up. A lot of mechanical work. Let's jump into it. Let's roll. Welcome back. All right, first things first. Talked about this in the last video. That 720 stand came with this tank, but obviously we have our own, the original stand, which is heavy duty, built out of steel, and pretty much a lot of the stuff is already there, kind of standing by. But we don't need this. We're going to break this down today. We're also going to get into the 2 chain falls that are way up inside here. This should be pretty quick. Got to break these boards down, drop the chain falls, get rid of all this because obviously it's no longer needed because the tank is in position. The other thing I want to show you real quick here in this room, this 4-inch pipe. This pipe used to be a drain for the bathroom that used to be upstairs. We're going to cut this here, get rid of all this, put a couple in there, and step this down to 1.5 inches. Work that pipe over here. It's hard to tell, but there's actually a hole coming through from the 900 upstairs, and there's an 1.5 inch pipe that's coming through there. We're going to tie that with a valve down here and another valve. Actually, the other valve's already upstairs standing by. So you actually have to turn 2 valves for that water to flow down into here. The reason I'm doing that is the ability, 1, to do a water change. 2, for the all-out worst-case scenario, I need to drop the 900 down quickly. Maybe something breaks. I don't know. 2 valves, and then, you know, you got an 1.5 inch solid pipe coming at you fast, so that would really drain the 900 quickly. And that's another reason. That's why I want 2 valves. You need to know what you're doing. You don't want to accidentally just turn 1 valve and walk away. So it's a double valve function.
Oh, a wise guy. I had to ask.
We got to do that. So anyways, we're going to get into that today. We're going to break all this apart and extend this pipe over. All right, so we're 1 step closer. I just got done removing the 4 10-foot long 2x4s that were up on the ceiling. I tell you what, that kind of sucked because I had that thing really jammed in there pretty good. I actually had 64 screws holding those 4 2x4s, obviously where the chain falls were at when we went ahead and moved this tank. So over here by the 720, I went ahead and took down those 2x4s. So now all that rigging and stuff is down on the ground. Went ahead and cleaned it up. Holy cow. So I'm tearing apart this stand, as I said just a few moments ago. But man, this guy put joist hangers in. You can see right now, they're all starting to fall onto the floor right now because I'm busting this thing apart. Man, he's got a lot of nails in this thing. This is easy. It'd probably take me about 2 hours to tear this thing apart. I'm actually kind of starting to question myself, like, should I tear it apart? Should I keep it? I have no place for this thing. We're not going to use it. Let's just keep tearing into it. All right, so how many nails do you need for a 2x6? Wow, I think this guy used a machine gun. This is pretty bad. All right, so there we go. The stand is completely tore apart. That thing's probably had better days. You know, one of the things I'm noticing is that the boards are really brittle. The wood is incredibly dry. I mean, it doesn't take much to actually crack a board right in half. Denailing a couple of them. I mean, maybe I'll keep a couple, but for the most part, I think this stand is, it's had better days. Good chance it's going to be heading to the outside wood burning stove to help heat the house. Now, is it just me? Or do you guys have the same problem? I've got these milk crates full of, as you can see, a lot of different sizes of PVC parts. But I don't have what I need here. Unbelievable. I'm going to have to go over to the other building and try to find my 3 to 1.5 inch reducer and then probably 2 3-inch couplings. All right, so like in the last video, we talked about these shark jaws. These are the real deal, man. Like I said, I think we got a bull shark, I think it was a tiger shark, and then mako. So we want to hang these right above the 1,000-gallon tank, right next to their World Aquatic sign. Let me show you what I'm doing because it's kind of tricky. It's not as easy as it looks. Got to kind of come up with a little bit of a contraption. All right, so I took a typical 3-inch screw and I lined everything up so that it's right where I want it. So the screws are underneath the jaws. I think what I've got to do is take some fishing line and grab right here to the screw. That'll be right back up inside here. So let me show you real quick. All right, so what I've got to do is I've got to use a drywall plastic anchor. You guys have probably seen these before. This is going to go in the wall, which you can see I've already done. Now probably what I'll do is I'll take the same color paint over this. So now let's go ahead and put the screw in. All right, so what I did was I took some fishing line, I kind of rolled it back on itself, like you're seeing right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this around the shark jaws, right there at the top. So this is, the shark jaws are actually upside down right now. I'm going to go around, right there like the 12 o'clock position, and I'm going to pull either end of the string through. And then pull it nice and tight, just like that. Because what we're trying to do is make it so that you can't see anything holding the jaws in position. So now I've got this tail right here that will connect this to the screw. So let me pull this off. And now you can see this right here. You can see I got the line attached right there, top of the jaws. All right, so there it is. So we've got one screw there. This is a 3-inch screw that went into that plastic anchor. And then the other one is over here. And that's really taking the weight, but what's balancing everything, the fishing line now is in. I put an eye bolt way back there. And I set the jaws right where I wanted them as far as the angle.
Oh, good for you!
So there it is. There's the first one. We've got 4 more to go. All right, so if you guys have been watching the channel, you remember a couple of videos back, we did a 2-part series on SeaWorld and all of the aquatic items that have been hiding in a warehouse in Cleveland for probably 23, 24 years. I'm going to show you real quick what we have accomplished in the last 2 months. It kind of is. We took 9 major loads out of here.
1-800-PACK-RAT a call. No one makes moving easier because no one cares more about your stuff than we do.
And that was with the truck and trailer. But now tonight we finally got the Penske truck. So we really narrowed this down to what it all came down to. We needed the big truck to do what we got to do. So, because all that other stuff did not fit on the truck and trailer. So we've got 3 big boxes. These things are 5 by 5 by 5. They are filled with corals. Let me get this. Actually, let me just walk around the other side. These boxes are filled with corals. Everything's wrapped in bags. Let me turn on the light so you get a little bit more. Somebody obviously a long time ago wrapped all this stuff up. Right down to the bottom. Tons of pieces. Okay, let me flip this one over. Man, this one's probably had better days. So this will have to be broken down little by little. So there's a ton in here. So this will be interesting to see how this all plays out. So this box is filled, that one's filled, and that one is filled. The other big thing we've got to move is this protein skimmer. We already took the head unit back last week, but this might go tonight. And then it's going to come down to the 9 triangles. And these guys were 5. Hey, bring that tape measure over here. I think these guys are 5 by 5 by 5. Let's take a look. These are probably 20, I'd say about 30 inches wide. These are 30 inches wide, 5 feet long on the one side, 4 feet on the other side, and 4 foot tall. But yeah, that's pretty much where we're at. I mean, it's really come down to this. 9 triangles, 3 boxes of coral, 4 FRP tanks, the iceberg, and all of the acrylic. Oh, I missed this one over here. Let's not forget this one. That's a big player right here. There's a 4x8 sheet of acrylic. That one is easily 1.5 inches thick. And the big boy is down here, 2¼ inches thick, and these are 6 foot by 8 foot. Look at those. There's the one end over there, way over there. These are big. All right, so we talked about this a few minutes ago, and I'm getting ready to cut into this 3-inch pipe, which is going to be the drain, kind of like an emergency drain for the 900-gallon tank upstairs. Man, this is getting a little bit more intense than what I thought we were going to have. So I got to explain this probably just one more time. Obviously, there's a 3-inch pipe, 90-90. There was a vent stack here at one time that went through this hole right there, probably headed for the roof of the house. Turned, but I just temporarily stepped it down. But this 3-inch was connected to this 3-inch way over here, which was the toilet. So I just temporarily put a step down from 3 to 2 and put a cap on it just to keep that methane gas in there. Now I'm getting ready to cut this. You can see the line right there. For this whole thing to work, I literally need to put vent into this guy. Also, we need to get into this. So I threw some lines up there real quick. You can kind of see them. So if you had a T, put it right here. So if I make the cut, we want to cut right there and cut right there to put this T in the up position. So what I'm trying to create is this chaos right here. I'm going to put it on the floor so you got a real good view of it. There's the 3-inch right there, stepping down to 2-inch. There's the original vent that's up there where I'm getting ready to cut. We want to put a T into it, and then a 90 down into another T. So stepping down from 3 to 2, 2 to 111 there. And then we have to put in another trap, right? Because we don't want the methane to come from here to get through and have its ability to work its way up towards the tank. So I'm going to put this crazy looking trap in here. So once this fills with water, right, this will be all full of water right here, methane can never pass through. Then we'll have the valve to do the water change upstairs, right? Just turn that valve and the water is going to take off and go down the 3-inch pipe. But I thought, man, maybe I should put another valve in place, because what if I did not want to drain the water, but what if I wanted to redirect the water for some crazy reason, maybe into a holding tank? I'm not for sure. It's easy just to put a T in a line, put a valve on it, and worry about it later, because this is the time to do it. Woo, man, the things you got to do for fish tanks. Holy crap. All right, right there is coming from the 900. That's the new drain, like we just talked about a few seconds ago. There's the pipe coming around. I put the Y or T right there with the valve that's heading to the right. There's the main one for doing the water changes. And then obviously here's the new trap. And right to the right of that, you see the T that goes up. And that's the new methane bleed off right there. It comes right back down into that other 90 and T right there. And then obviously the water continues right here to this 3-inch pipe. All right, so I'm getting ready to do the final glue on this 2-inch pipe on the right-hand side of the tank. But one of the things I wanted to point out real quick is I always do a dry run before I glue the pipes. One of the things I do is that when the pipe is fully engaged into this sweep T, you see this bell right here? When this is fully engaged right here, I like to make a mark that, I know exactly how far to push this thing in. And then I do a little bit of a V formation right there, because sometimes when the pipe is fully, inside the receiving end, you won't see that pencil mark, but you will see that V formation. So I do that on all of my connections. And the other thing too is every once in a while you get a crazy shape like this right here, where you got a 90, and then that sweep T. But see how this one here is completely perpendicular to this 90 over here. So what I'll do is I'll make a mark on the bell end and then a mark on the pipe, so that when I glue these two together, that I know that I'm sitting at a true 90-degree angle from one another, which you see right here. All right, let me glue this last one. All right, so you're probably wondering why there's cardboard on the front of a 1,000-gallon aquarium. It's because this stuff right here is about ready to be used in the ceiling. We don't want to get any primer or glue on that acrylic, because that would destroy it. All right, so I'm getting sidetracked a little bit. If you guys remember, up there where the 900-gallon tank is at, those I-beams right there, that used to be a half bath. To put the tank there, obviously, we had to destroy that bathroom. That being said, now over here where the laundry room is at, we're actually converting this into a half bath laundry room, but this has turned into something pretty intense because right there's a vent stack that's heading for the 3rd floor, trying to tie into that 3-inch pipe to eventually is going to be a toilet flange right there. So to do that, I had to cut a hole, joist up here. I had to sneak the right angle drill in above that copper pipe because we're going to run a pipe. We're going to put a Y right here. It's going to come right through, go down, go in through that hole, and then obviously head up there. So this is where that Y is going to go up in the ceiling. We're going to retie into the original piping. Might have to do obviously all new pipe. The Y is breaking through, 45 T, clean out, and then 90 up, and this is where the toilet will be. I didn't want the primer and the glue get on the front acrylic of a 1,000-gallon tank, so I had to put some cardboard on there to cover my butt. All right, so you can see water's starting to go in. I'm just doing it in little segments at a...
What's the truth, damn it?
I'm afraid, all right? You want to hear me say it? You want to break me down? All right, I'm afraid. For the first time in my life, I'm afraid.
I'm afraid too. There's nothing wrong with being afraid.
Time, because I am still working on the plumbing that's up underneath this monster. But the big thing, like I said just a few seconds ago, is that pipe right there. That's the one that's going downstairs. That's going to be for the water changes or the, oh crap, I'm in trouble factor. So there's the second valve you saw. First one was downstairs. Obviously, there's the second one right there. But now what I'm doing is I'm checking every single pipe right now. A little mark here on the T going to the straight pipe. So I'm double checking every single joint, making sure that everything is glued, that I'm not missing anything. Because a lot of this was, you know, fitting pipes together and make sure that the entire shape would actually work with the closed loop system, supply and return lines, and the main filtration system, supply and return lines. Because you can see right there, there's one of the 2-inch mains, and then way over there is the other 2-inch main. Both of those obviously are going downstairs, and then they come back on the 4 returns. There's 1, 2, 3, and the 4th one's right there. There's the supply line for the closed loop, and then there's the return line for the closed loop coming from that Vectra L1.